Dolphin fans, I have a legitimate question. How in the heck was this team 10-6? I'm looking at the stats, I'm looking at the staff, I'm looking at the players on the roster, and I honestly do not know for the life of me how this team was able to manage 10-6. Granted, the AFC East was garbage, and I understand that. The Patriots were finally bad. You had the Bills that were good, but the rest of the division was awful. But still, how are you able to be 10-6? I got to break this down because I'm going to run down these stats. I'm going to run down the coaching and the GM and everything like that, and we're going to figure this out because I honestly have no idea how. Miami Dolphins, they were 22nd offense. That's not great. That's in the bottom half. They were 20th in passing. They were 22nd in the rush. Very, very sub-mediocre. Defense, 20th in the league in defense. They were 23rd in the pass. They were 18th or 16th in the rush. Also, very sub-mediocre. Where are the wins coming from? How do you get all these wins from that? You have a quarterback that you either didn't trust to lead your team that was a vet, and you don't have a quarterback to trust to lead your team as a rookie. You don't have any number one weapons on the outside. You have a 7th round pick that is your best running back and a cast off who you had to use because I don't know why people go to Miami. They want to get injured. They play running back. I don't understand at all how this team was able to manage, but they did. So kudos to Brian Flores for working with the tools that he had. So segueing into that, who is the staff that managed to pull together not only this 10-6 season, but also get the lion's share of all these draft picks from the Texans and just swindle them like crazy? Chris Grier, gotta give you credit. He's been with the team for a long time. He moved up the ranks through the Dolphins. He's just been there forever. He's just been there. Very quiet. He doesn't get as much screen time as the owner, GM, CEO, whatever you want to call him, in Stephen Ross. You got Brian Flores going into his, I believe, his 3rd year with the Dolphins, and he came from, of course, the Patriots, and you're going to see a lot of that. You have offensive coordinator. They got a dual offensive coordinator with Eric Studeville and George Godsey. Godsey came from the Patriots lineage, and he was with the Texans, who's Patriots South, at least they used to be. I guess they still kind of are. And then you got defensive coordinator, who's Josh Boyer, also from the Patriots. So maybe this is why, because they're all ex-Patriots, they were able to coerce 10-6 out of a team that did not have the talent to be 10-6, but that's what they did. But now they need to get serious. Now they need to compete. If they're not competing with the Patriots, who I think will be a lot better this year, they have to compete with this Bills team, who looks like they want to take off with this whole division. The biggest need that you have, the funny thing is that this team doesn't need a lot, but they need a star or two. That's basically what it comes down to. And where do you get that star from? Either you get it from the draft or you get it from free agency, but they need a star somewhere. Tua, can he be that star? I don't think he can, but what do you do in the meantime while you try to figure that out? You need a wide receiver, you need a running back, you need linebacking, you need a center. You just lost one of your good centers, who was one of those good pieces that you had, but the offensive line is actually pretty solid, especially compared to a lot of the other teams that I've been covering lately. Free agency, like I said before, Ted Karras, he's a free agent. You got Matt Breida, he wasn't important, just let him go for peanuts on the dollar. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he was very important, but you need to move on. You need to see what you have, and having Ryan Fitzpatrick hovering behind Tua is probably not the best idea. Other than that, the Dolphins don't have that many holes. They don't have that many players that aren't signed to deals. They have plenty of cap space. They have $36.7 million in cap space, which I didn't cover earlier. They have what they need. They have the draft picks to do what they need to do. And what do you do with those draft picks? If I'm the Dolphins, the first thing I'm doing is trading down, because someone needs a quarterback. The Dolphins, you're not drafting a quarterback this year. You're going to see what you can do with Tua and let any of these other super quarterback hungry teams give you whatever they can, the lion's share, and maybe you can get a Deshaun Watson. I already gave Deshaun Watson to the Panthers, and allegedly, and we all know it's fake, that the Texans aren't looking to trade Deshaun Watson. So look in other directions. The one thing that I would try to do is trade down and get what I need. You need weapons somewhere, somehow. but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. As of right now, let's just run through these draft picks. You got the 3rd pick from the Texans because you swindled them. You also have your pick at number 18. You got their pick in the 2nd round, the 4th pick of the 2nd round on day 2. You got your own pick in the 2nd round. You got 3rd round pick. The thing with the Dolphins is that they don't have a bunch of picks. A lot of those later picks, the Dolphins gave up for other draft picks basically to make all the Texan deals work, but you're set. You have a good number of early picks, so you don't need those later picks. You can get everything you want and ever needed with like basically your top 5 picks. Free agent. All right, so now let's get into the GM part of this section. What would I do if I am the Dolphins GM? The first thing I want to do is sign Alex Smith. He is one of those guys that can be a mentor. I think he'll actually be a little bit more stable. If you want someone who will come in and stabilize this team a little bit more than Ryan Fitzpatrick can do, instead of him coming out the bullpen, he's one of those guys that will push Tua to be better. And if Tua can't be better, you know he's a guy who can manage a team, and that's what Alex Smith is now, as a game manager. You can build that team around him being a game manager, and then on top of that, you have enough money to where you can sign a Shaquille Barrett, you can sign a Marvin Jones, you can sign a slot receiver in Golden Tate. You can actually spend a little bit of money and do some things in the offseason. You get Shaquille Barrett and you match that with the rest of this amazing defense, especially that secondary, all of a sudden you're shutting down everybody. And then you have a quarterback in Alex Smith who can hopefully weather the storm. And then you have a good backup in Tua if you decide to go that route, like if you don't trust Alex Smith to stay not injured. So why not go that route and then just fill up the roster with other players? You can get a Jamal Williams or something like that. Let's get to the draft. Who do you draft with all of these draft picks? You get a Penei Sewell. If you're not trading, this is a no trade draft. I would trade back and try to get players a little bit later. But if you do need to pick, why not pick Penei Sewell? He's the best prospect that's a non-quarterback in this draft. Might as well just pick him. If you're there, he's going to shore up that left side or right side if you go into it for years to come. And then you draft a Rashad Bateman, who can be that number 1 alpha receiver if you need him to be. And then him and Marvin Jones can rule for years to come. And then you get Najee Harris. And I know a lot of people are saying Najee Harris, he's not even that good. He's not even worth a 3rd round pick. All these people are smoking. I don't like Alabama running backs at all, but this is the closest thing I've seen to Derrick Henry since Derrick Henry. He's fast, he's strong, he's big, he can catch. He catches better than Derrick Henry. I know Alabama running backs have a really bad track record because Trent Richardson, that's all you need to say. But Najee Harris looks like one of those different beasts. He looks like one of those guys that's going to be the next Derrick Henry. He looks like if he comes to this Dolphin team that he can be a game changer. You need to shore up this running back position, and especially if you want to play control football, if you want to keep the Bills offense off the field, you're going to need to play control football. And then you start drafting all the other things you need. You draft your interior alignment, you draft your cornerbacks, keep your defense fresh and dominating as it should be, because this defense is special. All Alex Smith has to do, all Tua has to do is control the game and make sure you don't make mistakes. And you've already conditioned Tua to not make mistakes. So this is what this defense provides. Like you build a defense that can win games for you, and build an offense that will allow the defense to do its job. This is what a lot of teams don't do. A lot of teams don't. They want to build offense. They want to just make sure they can just outscore you. Well, no need to outscore me if you can't score against me. And this is what this team needs to do. They control the clock, make sure that defense stays fresh, stays live, stays ready. That's all I got for the Dolphins today. If you like what you hear, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the flip. Later.
They're shouting! What for is the shouting?
Who the hell is that?
That's
Heinz gets velvet! I am trainer of Dolphins. You want to talk to the Dolphin? You talk to me.
What happened to the regular trainer?